Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee Chairman, Representative Ben Ray Lujan of New Mexico.
I come from a family of pioneers. My grandparents took on the elements, lived through the Great Depression, survived poverty and family tragedy, and made a place for themselves in New Mexico before it was a state. There they tilled their land, raised their crops, protected what they had, and tried to help others. I grew up on that small farm. I spent my childhood turning dirt, stacking wood, feeding animals. We didn't have much, but we had each other. We had familia. My dad was a union iron worker, local 495. My mom had a job with the local school district. They were married for 53 years before Dad passed. Dad's parents before him, Celedon and Nestora, were married even longer, 74 years. Grandpa Celedon, the sheep herder who first put down roots in New Mexico, was born in the era of the horse and buggy, but he lived to see the space shuttle soar into the heavens. My mom's dad, Grandpa Luis, he was a union carpenter who went off to serve in World War II, while his wife Cleotilde raised the family and was expecting their 7th child. He earned a Bronze Star for his heroism. When I was young, Grandpa Celedon and Grandma Nestora helped care for us. When I was older, Grandpa Luis and Grandma Cleotilde were hurt in a car crash, so we helped care for them. Because that's what families do. Those are the values I learned growing up. That's why I'm here today. I know I might not look like your typical member of Congress, and it's true, I haven't really gotten the bolo tie look to catch on. But the story of my family is the story of millions and millions of other families. It's the story of the great American family. Carpenters and iron workers, sheep herders and soldiers. Generations of Americans have worked hard and looked out for each other, serving and sacrificing for the next generation. We all gather together to celebrate the good times. We all rally around each other in times of hardship and tragedy. We all try to leave things a little better than we found them. And these values hold true no matter who you are or where you come from. As Democrats, we believe that everybody in America should have the same opportunity my grandparents and parents had, to have a place of your own, to build some real economic security that you don't have to worry will disappear overnight, to pass something on to your kids and grandkids. Those are the values that built our party. And for a century, we have led the fight for Social Security and Medicare, for Pell Grants and the GI Bill, for universal health care, for inclusion and equality and opportunity for all. We are proud of our accomplishments, but now it's our turn to continue that tradition. We too must leave things better than we found them, and Hillary Clinton is the president who will lead us. But she needs a Congress that will work with her. For nearly 6 years, Republicans have held the majority in the People's House, but clinging to that majority is the only thing they've accomplished. For nearly 6 years, House Republicans have put party over country. For nearly 6 years, they've been afraid to stand up to the birthers and bigots and conspiracy theorists, like the one they just nominated for president. Millions of Americans who don't consider themselves Democrats have now joined us in rejecting Donald Trump's bullying, his racism, and his attempts to divide our American family. Growing up, my grandparents shared with me the age-old wisdom. Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. Tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are. For me, the choice is easy. I'm for real leadership, someone with character and values. I'm proud to walk with Hillary Clinton. But if your member of Congress is supporting Donald Trump, instead ask yourself this: what does that say about their leadership, their character, their values? If they won't even stand up to Donald Trump, what makes you think they'll stand up for you and your family?
I want to say something to my congressman. I've been a Republican all my life.
I get party loyalty.
But there's loyalty to your country.
And the things Donald Trump says
about immigrants and women.
Veterans.
I mean, how can we put up with that?
How can Republican members of Congress support that?
If he's our standard bearer, what the heck happened to our standards?
It's time for leaders who will put families first. Leaders who will keep our nation and our neighborhoods safe. Leaders who will help every American family build a more secure financial future. Leaders who will fight to level the playing field and put the people's voice back in the people's house. I'd like you to meet some of those leaders.
We, the people, are what America has always been about, and why we are a great country. Not some of us, all of us, together. And we have strong Democratic candidates for Congress across the country. They are working moms, like Colleen Deacon and Stephanie Murphy. They are fathers, like Don McEachin and Brad Schneider. They're immigrants, like Reuben Kewin, community activists, like Dwight Evans, high school teachers, like Steve Santasiero, business leaders, like Terry Bonham, and small business owners, like Monica Vernon. Zephyr Teachout is a national leader on standing up to corruption. Charlie Crist is fighting to protect our environment. Angie Craig worked her way from humble beginnings to become a Fortune 500 executive. Our Democrats know what hardworking families are going through.
I worked in gas stations. I worked in pizza delivery. I worked in fast food. I know what it was like to work for minimum wage.
I enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserve. It was one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life.
My mother wore a maid's uniform so I could go to college and train to wear a police uniform. After 27 years, I earned the uniform of chief.
As supervisor, I cut the waste and invested the savings in new senior services, the environment, and jobs.
As a computer programmer, I was paid less than the men. So you can bet I'll fight for equal pay.
No one will steal my son's American dream. That dream that says if he works hard, he will have the opportunity to succeed. I won't let them.
This November, from Maine to California, we the people will reject the divisive politics of Donald Trump and Republicans in Congress who support him. We will elect Democrats to Congress who represent us, the people.
Securing our nation, securing our democracy, and securing our future, Democrats are focused on what matters most. And the fresh faces we'll elect this November will join a team of Democratic leaders in Congress who, like Hillary Clinton, have spent their lives working to improve the lives of others. Together, we'll work to create jobs and raise wages, secure equal pay for women and paid leave for every family, make it easier to pay down student debt, and possible for every American to attend public college debt-free. If there is one thing you can count on, it's that House Democrats will always be in the fight.
We're going to continue to push, to pull, to stand up, and if necessary, to sit down.
When the Democratic caucus did our sit-in led by John Lewis, it was the most thrilling moment. My own mom sent me a note telling me, hey, Keith, get to the House floor.
We're not going to break because the American people aren't going to break. From Newtown all the way to Orlando, too many Americans have died. We intend to push this as hard as we can.
The Democrats are the ones that are worried about the little guys, the ones that don't have political or economic or social power.
It's important to me as a mom of 2 young kids to be fighting for our next generation.
As a strong woman joined by many other strong women, we are proud that we are smart. We are proud that we are fighters.
We keep pushing. We keep putting our shoulder to the wheel until we find a way to get it done. But it sure would help if there were more of us.
I have a firm belief that if Congress truly reflected the makeup of America, I think we would be a much better country. I think we would be a much better world.
We have the best field of candidates in recent memory. These are good people. They look like America looks like. They reflect its diversity.
My goal, my job every day is to find ways to improve the lives of those people that I represent. Flint is a story of a whole community that's been left behind. I have been really encouraged that so many members of the Democratic caucus have traveled to Flint. When Leader Pelosi, Mr. Hoyer, Mr. Clyburn, all these members of Congress, just to be with the people of my hometown and to give them the encouragement, to help them understand that they're not alone.
But the way we press forward is to have better ideas. With climate change, we're pulling a lot of people, including industry and Republicans, in the right direction.
Healthcare to student debt to minimum wage.
To fight for so many immigrants who came to this country.
Retirement security is really near and dear to my heart.
Social Security and Medicare.
Reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act.
Universal background checks.
Pay equity. We're messaging every day. We're fighting back every day. We're doing field campaigns.
We've been in the real fights that the American people want us to be involved in.
We're going to push,
pull, stand up,
sit down.
So don't give up. Don't give in. Keep the faith and keep your eyes on the prize.
Tonight, Democrats are united. We are passionate. We are fearless. And we are ready to get to work alongside the next president of the United States of America, Hillary Clinton. And if you are ready to get to work alongside us, then stand with us tonight. Go to dccc.org/stronger and stand with us all the way to November. Because when we stand together and work together, we win together. Now let's get to work.